Hello everyone, welcome to Keto Living. And so today I am cooking some good old comfort food. You know, it's been raining and storming and it's just been around here, and I wanted some comfort food. And I love meatloaf, but you know, meatloaf has a lot of different things in it depending on how you make it. And it can be terribly carby even though it's meat. But today I have a really cool recipe for you, and it is a bacon cheeseburger meatloaf. I thought it would be really yummy, and we're going to do something special with it. We're not going to bake it in the traditional way. So stay tuned. I'm going to put you down here and we'll check it out together. Okay guys, so here's what we got. I know it looks like a lot of stuff, and kind of is, but you know, we're going to get through this. It'll be easy. Alright, so what you're going to do is start with a pound of grass-fed hamburger meat. And that's what I have, a pound here. And then you're going to use, now I wanted to cut some of the carbs out of here, even from another recipe that I used to do. So I'm only going to be using a half a cup of almond flour for binding. Excuse me. And I'm going to be using a half a cup of ground flaxseed. And this is what I use right here. And it's just Walmart organic ground flaxseed. So, and all this, as I tell you what it is, I'm just going to dump it in there. So that's going to go in there. And then, of course, it wouldn't be bacon, cheeseburger without bacon. So I'm going to be adding a half a cup of bacon in there. Yum. Okay. And then, to help bind it all together, we're going to add 2 eggs. And I'm just going to put them all in there just like that. And it's all going to come together, I promise. And then, you can't have a hamburger without mayonnaise. So I'm using 1/4 of a cup of mayonnaise in here. I promise you, it's going to work. It's going to be good. Now, what people traditionally do is they put tomato sauce or tomatoes or whatever in your meatloaf. Well, that adds a lot of carbs. I am going to be using no sugar added Heinz ketchup. And we're only going to be using 1/4 of a cup. And 1/4 of a cup of this, carved out, is 3 carbs. So, and right now with everything in here with the binding, we only have 3 carbs because the almond flour is 6 carbs, 6 regular carbs, and then you take the fiber out. So we have 3 of those, and then the flaxseed is 4 carbs and 4 grams of fiber, so that nets it out to 0. So we're going to put in 1/4 of a cup of ketchup. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of mustard. And I'm telling you, when I tested this recipe out, I had a lot of happy people. And of course, mustard has no carbs. Okay? And then we're going to take a teaspoon of minced onion. And now these do have some carbs. So it's about 1.5 for the minced onion. And then we're just going to add like a teaspoon of pepper. And I mean a 1/4 teaspoon, excuse me. I'm just going to use my teaspoon to get it out. And we're going to use about that much of salt. So I'll pour it out in my hand. And then I have a cup of cheese here. We're only going to use a half of that cup. And we're going to put that in there. And then we're going to save the rest of it to go on top of the meatloaf. Okay, then we're going to start mixing this all together. Now, the important thing is you want all this to combine. So you want it to be, you know, everything to go through the meat all at one time. So once I get this going a little bit so it's not quite so fishy, I'm going to jump in there with my hands. And they're clean. Now I should say that this recipe makes 6 servings. And if you feel like it's a little loose and you need something else, you can definitely add a little bit more. I would do it with the ground flax because I'm just trying to keep it as low as carb as possible. You just want to make sure everything's mixed up in here. Okay. Okay, so I have this all nice mixed up now. And everything's incorporated. Now, we are going to put this and bake this in muffin tin. And we're going to make individual meatloaves. So each serving is 2 meatloaves, so you should get 12. And I am just taking an ice cream scooper and scooping them in there, trying to get out as much as possible. And then if I have some left over, then I'll come back. I want to make sure I got an even amount. And this is a good way to do it. And then I'll just come back with some if I have some left over, because you want to mound them up pretty good. And because I'm using 80-20 hamburger meat, I did not grease this up because it's got plenty of fat in it. Remember, it's got the bacon and it's got the cheese. And that one's looking a little slack right there. So I'm just going to go back and add a little bit to some of these that are slacking a little bit. So each serving, like I said, is 2 individual little meatloaves. And just kind of round those up a little bit. Kind of pat them out. And you're going to bake these about 25 minutes on 350 degrees. Or until they're golden brown. Let me get all that goodness out of there. Don't want to leave any. Okay. Let me rinse my hands. Now we're going to take the rest of the cup of cheese and we're just going to sprinkle some cheese on top each one of them. Whoops. I didn't cut that one down, did I? Oops. And if you find yourself running short of cheese, you can always go back and shred some more. I do shred my own cheese. I do not use pre-shredded cheese because, as you know, pre-shredded cheese is coated with cellulose or either potato starch, both of which has carbs. But not only that, you don't want to eat trees. And that's what cellulose is. It's trees. So, you don't want to eat that. And you don't want to, even though it says it's only one carb, you don't want to do anything to stall your diet. And I truly believe sometimes that stalls your diet. So and it's cheaper too. So just buy your own cheese in a block and shred it yourself. All right, like I said, this is going in the oven at 350 degrees for about 25 minutes. And then I'll check it in 25 minutes and see where we are. Okay, and then while we're waiting, I'm going to show you what I'm going to eat with it. I have showed you these before. When I don't have time to be breaking out a whole cauliflower and cutting it up and making my own, I love the Alexia mashed cauliflower. It's the truest thing to potatoes as I can think of. And you know, when you have hamburger, you certainly want a potato with it. So that is what I'm going to be eating with this. Now, let me get, when this comes out of the oven and this gets ready, I'll bring it over and show it to you and what it looks like and how I serve it. Okay guys, here we are. They're all done. Now I did take these out and put them on a paper towel to get some of the excess fat off of it. And to serve this, I am looking for my half measuring cup. Each serving, like I said, is 2 of the little mini meatloaves. So we're going to put those on our plate. And then I am going to measure my cauliflower, my mashed cauliflower, because these do have carbs in them. And so it's a ½ cup serving. And each ½ cup serving is 5 net carbs. So you do want to kind of measure that. Let's put that on my plate. Okay. And just to gild the lily a little bit, I'm just going to put a little pat of butter, minus the paper, on top. And there we go. That is dinner. So let me put you up here and I will take a bite with the potatoes and everything. So that looks so good. Let me just dig right in here. Take a little bite this time. That is so good. And because I substituted and made some different changes, I'm going to just put a a little bit of ketchup on each one of them. Because you know we always do that when we eat meatloaf. We have that ketchup on there. And I'm just going to squirt just about maybe a teaspoon on each one of them. Because it really, the no sugar added has 1 carb for 1 tablespoon. So you're getting just a touch shy of a third of a carb or whatever for 2. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me today on Keto Living. I hope you'll give this a try. It is really yummy. And so I will see you next week. And next week we are going to have a BLD meal. That means we can have it for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. We'll be doing a bruschetta frittata. So I hope you'll join me then. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. And make sure to give this a thumbs up. And if you've not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so by hitting that little icon up there. And don't forget to tap the bell so you can be notified each time I upload. Alright, thanks so much, and I will see you all later. Bye.